And now we have a few minutes for some concluding remarks. I thought I'd say a few things, and then perhaps you want to. Well, I think it's been a very stimulating meeting, as have the others, and we're here to long enough these few days to get some kind of bonding, and also quite a few of the speakers have been here more than once. So this is the community that Martine hoped to develop is coming together very clearly. So we heard a great deal about various methods for delivering materials to cancer cells and other cells into intranuclear locations to increase X-ray sensitivity. These polymers that can assist interacting with, again, primarily cancer cells, these constructed, designed scaffolds that can be given a whole variety of characteristics. And also the treatment of the second shock phenomenon with external and internal possibilities of intervention. This has also been a good opportunity to hear about the interaction of biology and engineering. And the sessions we had on systems engineering, I think were, and systems biology, were all very intriguing and attractive. Again, as we heard, it's an emerging field. It's a field that recognizes its inability at the moment to deal with the complexity of biology, but with a very positive attitude to developing methods that will make that more and more useful. The kind of analytical approach that engineers use, break a problem down into its pieces, and in the case of systems engineering, systems biology, try to put them back together again. And in order to give a kind of a whole statement to what's going on. This, by the way, was kind of the effort of the early naturalists of the 16th, 17th century who collected a lot of data, put stuff in museums with the expectation that they would be able to synthesize all this and come out with some pulled together explanation that would help in understanding nature. One of the unfortunate, I wouldn't say unfortunate, one of the consequences of that is to realize that you can never collect all knowledge, because as you continue to solve problems, you always create new ones, and we have more and more. The more we know about what we don't know. And I think that's revealed in the talk that we've had. We've had some discussion of binding to bacteria, and I'm not aware of what the field has done in that area, but you would think the approach to dealing with kind of large parasites, malaria, plasmodia, filaria from Wuchereria infection, from filariasis, viruses, would lend themselves to this kind of approach. Perhaps easier because these organisms are much more different from normal cells than cancer cells or from the normal cells in the same individual. We haven't, I'm not sure if there's a field of theoretical nanobiology or theoretical nanosciences that would, much of what we've heard today is very goal-directed. There's particular applications that are in mind. And that's something perhaps that may enter into future discussions. And then this is a medically oriented seminar, of course, but there must be, in the future, really very interesting non-medical applications. The having machines that are so light in weight they lend themselves to airborne and spaceborne missions where weight is a very important contribution. So I thank all of you for attending. It's been pretty long, well, getting on to 3 days. And we now have, a few hours, and we'll assemble to go to dinner.
Yes, I can make a couple concluding remarks.
And Martine would now speak.
Thank you very much, Dr. Blumberg. You've been a fantastic co-chair today, and we all really appreciate your guidance on our schedule and your guidance on our topics. One of Dr. Blumberg's many recognitions, and this morning I was able to give but a quick survey of them, is that he has been twice elected by his peers to be the president of the American Philosophical Society, which is the society formed by Benjamin Franklin and his colleagues more than 200 years ago, with the goal of serving as a sort of cauldron for intellectual development in the United States. And subsequently, members have joined the American Philosophical Society from throughout the world. So there's been more than 200 years of continuous organization, continuous meetings, sessions, membership of the American Philosophical Society, which, as mentioned, Barry now chairs, and twice a year its members get together who include basically a incredible panorama of people who have achieved great scientific advances in their lives, and get together twice a year and listen to lectures such as we have listened to lectures today and yesterday, and exchange questions and answers, much as we have exchanged questions and answers yesterday and today. And I always try to learn from Dr. Blumberg. He's a fantastic role model and mentor for me. And it really gives me a lot of pleasure to look back at these past 2 days and see that we have created a microcosm of the American Philosophical Society here, focused specifically on the topic of nanomedicine. And whether it is with the very theoretical bottoms-up approach that Dr. Hoag presented yesterday, which showed us how we can rebuild biology atom by atom, and not just biology, but in particular the most important components of human biochemistry, respirocytes, immune cells and whatnot, to the very here and now, treating breast cancer here and now presentation that Dr. Shoike just presented us with, using some of the molecules that we've talked about for the past few days, and very producible here and now nano spheres to deliver those particles. We've had exactly the type of intellectual cauldron of mixing and matches, spices and flavors that comes out at the American Philosophical Society meetings. So I feel that my company, Unither Therapeutics, goals for this meeting have been abundantly satisfied. You guys have provided the intellectual stimulation that thousands of people will be watching year after year at the conference website that we've established, and where you can watch the deliberations for the past couple of years. And people that you'll never see and you'll never know will be inspired to further advance their careers in nanomedicine, to take their careers in new directions. It's kind of like networking to the networked power. And so it's just been a tremendous success from my vantage point. And the success is all due to the great preparation and the great work that you and all of your teams that you acknowledged did. So thank you very much, and continue all of your great works. It's making the world a better place today, tomorrow, and definitely in the future. Thank you so much.
Before everyone runs away, a couple of quick announcements to close the dinner. Dinner, the bus for it is going to leave around 5 of 7. So if you can start congregating at 6:45 in the lobby. The restaurant is right around the corner, so not a long trip, but a nice comfortable bus to get you there. Also, I wanted to make sure you knew inside your pamphlets, there are some permission slips just to let us, say it's okay to share your presentation. If you want to make any changes and things like that to the presentation, saying that you will, of course, send those to us for inclusion on the website. Also is a questionnaire, so just sort of giving us feedback of how you found the conference and what changes and additions you would like to make and what you would like to see in the next one. So we'd appreciate that.